Good morning, friends. Please write down one question on EVA, economic value added, a very wonderful topic. We'll take some advanced question today on economic value added. So please come to one question. I will request you to write down the question first. A Limited just announced that the current financial year's income statement. A Limited just announced that the current financial year's income statement reports its net income to be rupees 12 lakh. Report its net income to be rupees 12 lakh. Point number next, write down A Limited's tax rate is 40%. A Limited's tax rate is 40% and its interest expense for the year was rupees 15 lakh. The company has rupees 80 lakh of invested capital. Of which 60% is debt. In addition, A Limited tries to maintain a weighted average cost of capital near 12%. Weighted average cost of capital near 12%. 4 questions, maybe for either 4 or 8 marks. First is compute the operating income or EBIT, comma, A Limited earned in the current year. Then point number 2, what is A Limited's EVA for the current year? Third point, right? A Limited has 5 lakh equity share outstanding. According to the EVA value you computed, how much can A Limited pay? In dividend? Per share? Before the value of the firm would start to decrease? Question mark. Point 4. If A Limited does not pay any dividend, what would you expect to happen to the value of firm? What would you expect to happen to the value of the firm? what would you expect to have happen to the value of the firm, right? So I am sure you have written the question. We'll just quickly read it, discuss it, and then solve. A Limited has just announced that for the current financial year, income statement reports its net income to be 12 lakh. So net income here would mean profit after tax. Okay, profit after tax. A's marginal tax rate is 40%. So that means this 12 lakh is arrived at after charging 40% tax. To calculate the PBT, 12 lakh divided by 60%, 40% is tax rate. 12 lakh is 60% of profit before tax. So 12 lakh divided by 60%, whatever you will get, 20 lakh is your PBT, and the interest expense is 15 lakh. So add back interest expense also 15 lakh. So that 35 lakh will give you EBIT, which is your first question. So once you got EBIT minus tax 40% will give you NOPAT. So you got NOPAT. In the question, two figures are directly given to you. Invested capital 80 lakh and weighted average cost of capital 12%. Invested capital is 80 lakh, out of which 60% is debt. In this chapter it will not matter because I have to look at the long-term capital employed. So the long-term capital employed is 80 lakh and the overall cost of capital is 12%. That is important. So we have got operating income 35 lakh. We have got NOPAT. We can calculate EVA now. We'll do it while solving EVA. But two new questions have come. A Limited has 5 lakh equity share outstanding. According to the EVA value you computed, how much should A Limited pay in dividend per share before the value of the firm would start to decrease? So this is a new question. What is the dividend per share they can pay maximum? If they pay more than that, the value of the share can start decreasing. So that you have to think. When we'll come to that, I will give you the answer. And fourth question is, suppose A Limited does not pay any dividend, what would you expect to happen to the value of the firm? So again keep thinking. Third and fourth, at the back of your mind, keep thinking what is the maximum dividend per share that can be paid before the value of the firm starts to decrease. If the firm would not have paid dividend, then what will happen to the value of the firm, whether it will decrease, increase or remain constant. So first answer first. Calculation of NOPAT. Calculation of NOPAT. NOPAT can be calculated in two ways. You can either take PAT, add back interest net of tax, or you can take EBIT minus tax. Both methods will give you the same answer. So whichever you find convenient, easy, you can solve it. So write down calculation of NOPAT, right hand side rupees in lakhs, point number A, PAT. So given PAT rupees in lakhs 12. B, add back interest net of tax 15 into 1 minus 0.40, that is 9. Therefore point C, NOPAT A plus B 21. NOPAT 21, or you can first compute the EBIT and then also you can compute NOPAT. Doesn't matter. Step number 2, write down net operating income before tax. Net operating income before tax. So that is equal to, you have computed NOPAT, that is net operating profit after tax. So if you want to convert into before tax figure, just take 21 and divide by 0.6. 21 divided by 0.6. So NOPAT can be converted into net operating income before tax by dividing by 60%, right? 35 lakh. Otherwise, you write alternatively EBIT equal to your profit after tax is 12 lakh, divide by 1 minus 0.4, this will give you PBT, and plus interest 15 lakh, plus interest 15 lakh. So try 12 divided by 0.6 and plus 15 is 35 lakh, is rupees 35 lakhs. So both way you will get the same answer. And one more thing I will just show you. In case if you want to use EBIT for calculating NOPAT, suppose you want to use EBIT for computing NOPAT, just take 35 minus 40%. 35 minus 40%, you get 21. Both ways you will get 21. Whichever way you are comfortable, you can write. Step 3 is EVA. That is my second question. Right hand side rupees in lakhs. For first point A, NOPAT. NOPAT. Step 121. Step 121. Then B, capital employed. Capital employed 80. It is given capital invested 80. WSCC is also given 12%. Capital charge 9.60. Capital charge 9.60. B into C. Therefore, EVA A minus D is how much? 11.40. EVA 11.40. Now the question was, what is the maximum dividend that can be paid before the value of the firm starts to decrease? So in this case, the maximum dividend you can pay is that surplus that you have generated, 11.40 lakhs. This is total dividend you can pay, and this divided by number of shares will give you dividend per share. So maximum dividend, write down, maximum value of dividend A Limited can pay. Maximum value of dividend A Limited can pay before the value of the firm would start to decrease. Before the value of the firm would start to decrease is equal to EVA per share, is equal to EVA per share, is equal to EVA per share. Therefore, next line, dividend per share equal to DPS equal to total EVA is 11.40 divide by 5, divide by 5, that is equal to 2.28 per share, 2.28 per share, 2.28 per share. Now write down, note, that is your answer of your last question. What if the company does not pay dividend? So these two answers are linked to each other. After reading this answer, what happens to the company if it does not pay dividend? You will also get the answer of why the company should pay a maximum dividend equal to EVA per share. So please write down the last answer. Note, if the firm does not pay dividend, if the firm does not pay dividend, what happens if the firm does not pay dividend? It is called retained earning or plowback of profit. The entire earning will be plowed back in the business. The entire earning will be plowed back in the business. The entire earning will be plowed back in the business. So what will happen to the overall retained earning? The overall retained earning will go up. What will happen to the overall capital employed? The overall capital employed will go up. What will happen to the NOPAT? The NOPAT will also go up because you will have more capital to do the business. Retained earning flows into the capital employed. Retained earning flows into the capital employed, resulting in higher EVA, and higher value of the company, resulting into higher EVA and higher value of the company, resulting into higher EVA and higher value of the company. Hence the share price will rise. Hence the share price will rise. Then you write one note. It is assumed that, and which is a normal assumption, even if you don't write, it is assumed in the positive EVA calculation. It is assumed that return on capital employed is greater than cost of capital. So if your return on capital employed is more than cost of capital, a higher retention will generate more earning than the capital charge, and therefore it will increase EVA, and therefore it will increase the market value of the firm, or individual value per share will rise. For example, those who found it difficult to understand, now forget everything and just concentrate. Suppose my capital is 100, return on capital employed is 15%, and cost of capital is 10%. So what will happen? If suppose I retain 100 rupees entirely, my NOPAT generated will be 15. NOPAT generated will be 15, but the cost of capital will be 10% of 100. So this extra 5 will increase EVA. Increase in EVA will increase the value of the firm. Per share value will also go up. So that is the answer of this question. So if this question comes again, what is maximum dividend per share in this chapter? You will write that is equal to EVA per share. Question number 11, sell practice. Question number 11, sell practice. You will find this question there. Tender Limited has earned a net profit of 15 lakh. Tender Limited has earned a net profit of 15 lakh after tax at 30%. So same question here also. The PAT is given 15 lakh. Tax rate is given 30%. Interest cost charged by financial institution was 10 lakh. Interest 10 lakhs. The invested capital, same problem, 95 lakh. Capital employed 95 lakh, out of which 55% is debt, will not matter. The company maintains a weighted average cost of capital of 13%. So I have been given this using PAT and tax rate and interest rate also, we can find NOPAT. So using these three numbers, first three numbers, you can find NOPAT. This is NOPAT. And capital employed and WACC is given. So using this data, you can find EVA. Then what is the question? Compute the operating income. Operating income means EBIT. Operating income means EBIT. Like previous question, you can simply take NOPAT, which you will calculate in the first step, and divide by 70% in this question, because tax rate is 30%. So that will give you the operating income. Using NOPAT, capital employed, WACC, you get EVA. And point number C, tender limited as 6 lakh equity share outstanding. How much dividend can the company pay before the value of the equity starts declining? So the answer is same, EVA per share. EVA per share. So once you compute EVA divided by 6 lakh share, that is the maximum dividend they should pay. All the surplus they can distribute, and if they distribute more than that, then the price of the share can start falling, because EVA will fall in the future. So now write down step 1, calculation of NOPAT. Calculation of NOPAT. Right hand side rupees in lakhs. Point number A, PAT. PAT is write down 15 lakh. First line of the question. Point number B, add back interest net of tax. Add back interest net of tax. 10 is the interest, tax rate is 30%. So 10 into 1 minus 0.37. Therefore NOPAT. NOPAT A plus B, 22. Once you get NOPAT, you can calculate net operating income before tax also. So that is 22 divided by 70%. 31.43 lakhs. 31.43 lakhs. Suppose you want to calculate operating income before tax in another manner, you can do that also. So write down alternatively. Alternatively, operating income before tax. Right hand side rupees in lakhs. Point number A, PAT 15 lakh. PBT 15 divided by 70%, 21.43. Add back interest 10. Therefore operating income before tax, same answer, 31.43. So I have presented both the answers in two ways to reach EBIT. Whichever way you are comfortable, you can follow that in the exam, or according to the time that you have, you design that answer which will take less time. Now please come to step 3, and that is EVA. Right hand side rupees in lakh. No use of that information that capital consists of 55% of debt, because EVA is based on long-term capital employed. So start with NOPAT again. How much is NOPAT? NOPAT is 22, step 1. Capital employed given 95. WACC given 13%. D, capital charge 12.35. B into C, capital charge 12.35. E, EVA, write down EVA, A minus D, 9.65. So this is your answer of second question, EVA. Now answer of the third question. What is the maximum dividend per share the company can pay before the value of the entity starts declining? So answer of that question 4. Value of dividend the company can pay. Value of dividend that the company can pay before the value of the entity starts declining. Before the value of the entity starts declining is equal to EVA per share is equal to EVA per share. Therefore, dividend per share equal to maximum DPS equal to, therefore maximum DPS equal to this 9.65 is total EVA divided by 6 is equal to 1.61 rupees per share. 1.61 per share. Write down, it is assumed that, even if you don't write in the exam, it is okay. It is assumed that return on capital employed is greater than cost of capital. Return on capital employed is greater than the cost of capital. So the logic is, if you pay more dividend, your retained earning will go down. So your NOPAT in future will go down more than the capital charge. And as a result, EVA will fall. And if EVA will fall, the value of the share will fall. This note you can copy from previous answer if you want, or you can copy now. If the firm does not pay dividend, if this question is also added in point number D of this problem, suppose in your exam 4 questions are asked, what if the firm does not pay dividend? So quickly write down, if the firm does not pay dividend, the entire earnings will be plowed back in the business. The entire earning will be plowed back in the business, resulting in higher EVA, and higher value of the company. Resulting in higher EVA and higher value of the company. So this is another type of question in the exam they have asked, where they have asked how much is the maximum dividend per share and what is the impact of dividend on the value of EVA and value of the company. Now one more question I will dictate. Please write down. Question, write down. Please write a question. A Limited's current financial year's income statement. A Limited's current financial year's income statement reported its net income. Net income means PAT at rupees 25 lakhs. So in short, PAT is 25 lakh. Tax rate is 30%. Additional information, 11% long-term debt, rupees 40 lakh. 11% long-term debt, rupees 40 lakh. Equity, share capital and reserve and surplus. Equity, share capital and reserve and surplus, rupees 125 lakh. Then beta 1.36, risk-free rate 8.5%, market risk premium, in bracket for your understanding it means RM minus RF, 9%. So using these three figures, cost of equity, using interest rate and tax rate, we can find cost of debt. Question is calculate EVA. PAT is given. So if the PAT is given, add back interest net of tax, that will give you NOPAT. So we will get NOPAT from this, cost of equity from this, cost of debt from these two figure. I will get weighted average cost of capital, and then the sum of these two numbers will give me capital employed. So that's a relatively easy question. Let us write down the answer step by step in good handwriting with all the necessary calculations being shown. Step number 1, calculation of NOPAT. Calculation of NOPAT. Right hand side rupees in lakhs. Right hand side rupees in lakhs. Point number A, PAT 25 lakhs. Point number B, add back interest net of tax. If PAT is given, add back interest net of tax, which comes to 11% into 40 lakh into bracket 1 minus 0.30. So that gives me 3.08 lakh. That gives me 3.08 lakh. And point number C, NOPAT. This NOPAT will be 28.08 lakh. 28.08 lakh. 28.08 lakh. Step 2, write down cost of equity. Cost of equity KE is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. Check the answer now. 8.5 plus beta 1.36 into 9. Take your calculator and solve. Come on. 20.74%. 20.74%. Then write down cost of loan fund. Cost of loan fund is equal to I into 1 minus T. First formula, then calculation, 11 into 1 minus 0.30, then answer. Okay. So this is how you will present it. Formula, calculation, answer. Preferably one below the other. Preferably. So that is 7.7%. Step 4, write down WACC. 5 columns. Source, amount, in bracket rupees in lakhs, weight, cost, weight into cost, weight into cost. Keeping one line gap, write down equity, long-term debt, total. Equity, long-term debt, total. Amount is 125 lakh, 40 lakh, 165 lakhs. Weight is 0.7576, 0.2424. Cost is 20.74%, 7.7%. If you want to write weights like this, you can do 125 by 165, 40 by 165. So multiply the two, 15.71%, 1.87%. Take the total, 17.58%, 17.58%. %. Now step number 5 is EVA. EVA. Right hand side rupees in lakhs. So first 5 seconds you will try. Try and give me the answer. I'll wait for 5-10 seconds. This will engage you. You will also apply your own intelligence. Keep trying, keep trying. Same 5 steps. Same capital employed you will use, which is appearing in your WACC working. Okay. So now time to check the answer. Please come to the answer. First point A, NOPAT 28.08, capital employed 165, WACC 17.58%, capital charge 29.01, keep checking, EVA 0.93, negative, this is also possible, you might get negative answer, so don't get surprised. The purpose of giving this easy question was you may get a negative EVA, so write down note, write down the firm is destroying the wealth of the stakeholders or investors. The firm is destroying the wealth of the shareholders or stakeholders or investors because the EVA is negative. Because the EVA is negative. Because the EVA is negative. If they ask you to write a comment, then this is the comment you will write. It is a wealth destructing firm. Because EVA is negative, it can't even earn a rate of return greater than the cost of capital. One more important question I will dictate, write down. Question, it was asked in May 18 exam. May 18 exam for 4 or 5 marks. Question, Herbal Gyan. Herbal Gyan is a small but profitable producer of. Herbal Gyan is a small but profitable producer of beauty cosmetics. Small but profitable producer of beauty cosmetics. Herbal earnings have averaged around. Herbal's earnings have averaged around rupees 12 lakh after tax. So that is PAT. Largely on the strength of its patented beauty cream. Largely on the strength of its patented beauty cream. The patent has 8 years to run. The patent has 8 years to run. And Herbal has been offered rupees 40 lakh. Herbal has been offered rupees 40 lakh for the patent right. Herbal has been offered rupees 40 lakh for the patent right. This is a new adjustment, underline. The patent has 8 years to run and Herbal has been offered rupees 40 lakh for the patent rights. Next paragraph, Herbal's assets include rupees 20 lakh of working capital. Herbal's asset include rupees 20 lakh of working capital and rupees 80 lakh of property, plant and equipment. And 80 lakh of property, plant and equipment. The patent is not shown on Herbal's book. Underline this, one more new adjustment is patent is not shown on Herbal's book. So there is an asset which is not appearing in their books. Herbal's cost of capital is 15%. Cost of capital is 15%. Tax rate is 30%. What is its EVA? What is its EVA? What is its EVA? What is its EVA? So let us read the question together. So question is Herbal Gyan is a small but profitable producer of beauty cosmetics. Herbal earnings have averaged around rupees 12 lakhs. So PAT given to you is 12 lakhs. The patent has 8 years to run and Herbal has been offered rupees 40 lakh for its patent right. $40 lakh is the patent value. Its life is 8 years. And the problem below says the patent is not on the Herbal's book. So if I take into consideration the intangible asset which is not recorded in the books, then the capital will increase by 40 lakh. Capital will increase one more asset. It will include PPE, working capital and patent. And what about the impact on the profit? The profit will reduce by amortization. Amortization of patent will be 40 lakh divided by 8, and how much is that? 5. So this will reduce my PAT to 7 lakh. We'll see the adjustment in the taxation also. And then the next part is, will not 7 because this is PAT, so I need to first convert into PBT, then do the adjustment. Okay. And the capital employed will be 20 lakh working capital, 80 lakh property plant equipment, 40 lakh of patent. So this adjustment I have to do. I have to adjust my profit figure for the amortization of patent, and I have to adjust the capital employed for the unrecorded tangible asset. For valuation purpose, we will take that also into account, because that is also helping in generation of operating income, even though it is not appearing in the books. So these two new adjustment has come to us. One, in the profit and loss statement, we are going to give the effect of amortization. Now remember, this is not an account subject. This is a valuation topic, financial management topic. So we will not look everything from the eyes of accounting. We have to look at from valuer's angle. So a valuer will think this company has a patent of 40 lakh and its value is decreasing over 8 years, 5 lakh each. So it means if we write off that value, the profit is also going to get affected. So right hand side rupees in lakh. Point number A or step 1, heading is adjusted NOPAT. This is called adjusted NOPAT because we are adjusting the profit figure. First point A, PAT given 12 lakh. Point B, PBT 12 divided by 70%. 12 divided by 70% is 17.14 lakh. 17.14 lakh. So this is PBT. I will make adjustment in PBT figure because the amortization is a profit before figure. If I adjust it directly here, it will be mismatching because this is post-tax figure. Patent amortization is pre-tax figure. So let us first get the pre-tax profit, then make adjustment of patent amortization. So less amortization of patent. Less amortization of patent is 40 divided by 8. 40 lakh divided by 8 years, 5. Therefore adjusted EBT is B minus C. Adjusted EBT B minus C, that is 12.14. And point number E, therefore adjusted NOPAT the adjusted NOPAT will be 12.14 minus directly 30%, so that gives me 8.5. Please check the answer. Are you getting 8.5? NOPAT after adjusting patent is 8.5. Now the next point is capital employed. This also you write down in bracket adjusted, or you can write adjusted capital employed. Right hand side rupees in lakh. Right hand side rupees in lakh. First point number A, PPE. PPE 80 lakh. PPE 80 lakh. Working capital 20 lakh. Working capital 20 lakh. Patents 40 lakh. Patents 40 lakh. Capital employed A plus B plus C 140 lakh. So this is my adjusted capital employed. It will include unrecorded asset also. Now one question will come to your mind, that why we have not taken 40 minus amortization. Keep thinking, why we have not taken 40 minus 4. Keep thinking, I will come to that query later. Everything cannot be answered immediately. Let the student also try. Step number 3 is EVA. Calculation of EVA. Right hand side rupees in lakh, point number A, adjusted NOPAT step 1. Adjusted NOPAT step 1 8.50. Capital employed step 2 140. WACC given 15%. Capital charge 21. Capital charge 21 B into C. Capital charge 21 B into C. Therefore EVA A minus D. So EVA is negative. EVA is negative. Write a note. The company has negative EVA of 12.50 lakh. Company has negative EVA of 12.50 lakh. It is destroying the wealth of the shareholders. It is destroying the wealth of shareholders. Then you write down tutorial notes. In the exam you may or may not write it. Tutorial notes for future understanding and resolution of doubt. I will dictate. So first write down, while calculating capital employed, unrecognized operating assets. Unrecognized, but it should be operating asset, something which is helping you in your business. Unrecognized operating assets, for example, patent rights, should also be considered. Recognized non-operating assets are excluded. Recognized non-operating assets we have excluded in some problem. Unrecognized operating assets, like in this example, patent rights, should be considered. Second note, which is your query, that while calculating capital employed, why we have not deducted amortization of patent right. So that was a very important question. So the answer of that question is here. Capital employed at the beginning of the year should be considered. Capital employed at the beginning of the year should be considered. whereas profit expected at the end of the year should be considered. Whereas profit expected at the end of the year should be considered. Therefore, amortization of patents is not deducted. Therefore, amortization of patents is not deducted in arriving at the opening capital employed. Amortization of the patent is not deducted in arriving at the opening capital employed. In arriving at the opening capital employed. In arriving at the opening capital employed. Now this second point I am going to explain. We are computing two things in this chapter continuously: EVA and capital employed. EVA is based on NOPAT. This NOPAT, profit earned. Okay, this profit earned is compared with the capital employed at the beginning. Capital employed at the beginning multiplied by WACC. This is what I need to earn at the end of the year. Capital charge. But in most of the question, we are not given opening capital, closing capital separately. So therefore, I had no choice, but whatever capital was given, I will use that for calculation purpose. But here, I have some choice in my hand. So the capital employed at the beginning is taken, multiplied by WACC. That is what I need to earn. That is what I need to earn. If I have to suppose I have invested 100 rupees in my business and my cost of capital is 10%, so I should earn 10 rupees on what amount I had invested. I will compare that with the amount actually earned, 11, and then I will say yes, I have generated one more. I can't take 111 rupees capital employed at the end and then take 10% and then compare with the profit of that year. That's a wrong comparison. We have been doing wrong answers because the data insufficiency was there. So in this question, capital employed at the beginning will include patent of 40 lakh. The amortization will be at the end of the year. So it will affect the NOPAT of the coming year, not the capital employed at the beginning. So of course, in the next year, if you have to compute the EVA, so next year your opening patent will reduce by 4 lakh rupees. So this is the explanation of this question. One more question, write down. Write one more question. All these additional questions will be written as very, very important. Okay. So please write question bracket very, very important. ABC Limited has divisions A, B and C. ABC Limited has divisions A, B and C. The division C has recently reported an annual EBIT of rupees 20 crore 20 lakh, has reported an annual EBIT of rupees 20 crore 20 lakh. This figure is arrived at after charging rupees 3 crore full cost of advertisement expenditure. After charging 3 crore rupees full cost of advertisement expenditure for launching a new product. This figure is arrived at after charging rupees 3 crore full cost of advertisement expenditure for launching a new product. So this is a new adjustment. Underline, we will discuss it once you complete writing the problem. So dear student, continue to write. Second point, the benefit of this expenditure is expected to last for 3 years. The benefit of this expenditure is expected to last for 3 years. The cost of capital of division C, the cost of capital of division C is 11%, not rupees. The cost of capital of division C is 11% and cost of debt is 8% and cost of debt is 8%. The invested capital of division C as per the latest balance sheet is rupees 60 crore. The invested capital of division C as per latest balance sheet is rupees 60 crore. But the replacement cost of these assets is estimated at rupees 84 crore. Again underline. The estimated replacement cost of these assets is estimated at rupees 84 crore. Compute the EVA of division C. Compute the EVA of division C. Compute the EVA of division C. This question has two new adjustment. One is here, the figure of the profit is arrived after charging rupees 3 crore full cost of advertisement for launching a new product. The benefit of this expenditure is expected to last for 3 years. You have done a good job as far as accounting is concerned, because in the books of account all advertisement costs are recognized in profit and loss account in the same year. So if you are following accounting standard say 26 intangible asset, they do not allow to carry forward advertisement expenditure. Or if you are following say Ind AS 38, that is also intangible asset, even there the advertisement expenditure is to be written off. So you have done a great job as far as accounting is concerned, but as we discussed, this is not an accounting subject, it is a financial subject, so decision making and valuation subject. So here what I will do, for the purpose of finding EVA, the benefit of 3 crore will spread over 3 years. So out of 3, 1 is over, 2 is pending. We should have charged 1 crore only as far as valuation part is concerned, and 2 should not be considered as expense of this period. So what we should do, this 2 crore extra that we have charged, for the purpose of finding the normal operating profit, I will add back to this figure. I will add back because 2 crore rupees extra expense have been charged for the purpose of analysis of current year performance. The benefit which will last for 3 years, we have charged all benefits in the first year. So 2 crore rupees we will add back. 2 crore we will add back because this benefit will relate to future period. That is one adjustment. And second adjustment is your book value of invested capital is 60 crore, but the question says the replacement cost is 84 crore. So while calculating the capital employed, we will take replacement cost of the asset if it is available. Like in this question, it is available. So these are the two additional adjustment we will learn. So start writing. First write down adjusted EBIT. Right hand side rupees in crore. It will be easy for us to write. Adjusted EBIT. Point number A, reported EBIT. Reported EBIT given 20.20. Point number B, now this is something important. This is not an account subject. This is financial management subject. Add back advertisement expenditure related to future period. Add back advertisement expenditure related to future period. So 2/3 of 3 crore is related to future period. Out of 3 crore, 1 crore is current year expense. No problem with that. 2 crore will be carried forward to next period only for financial management analysis purpose. Not in your books of account. So that is 2. So adjusted EBIT or NOPAT is 22.20. Now one thing you must have noted, tax rate is not given in this question. So if tax rate is not given, based on whatever is the answer, we will do it. In the absence of information about tax rate, we will just go ahead with the given data with a note here, immediately below here a note, taxation is ignored. Taxation is ignored. Or you want me to assume 30% tax rate and go ahead? No. Now we'll calculate EVA. First write down point number A, NOPAT. Step number 1, 22.20. Second point B, capital employed. Replacement cost write down. Replacement cost 84. Replacement cost 84. Point C, WACC. WACC is given 11%. Capital charge we can calculate 9.24. Capital charge we can calculate 9.24, and therefore economic value added is A minus D, that is 12.96. Write a note, since the replacement cost of the asset is given, we will use the same for capital employed. And one tutorial note write down. Tutorial note. Do not look at the question from accounting point of view. Do not look at the question from accounting point of view. Look at it from financial management point of view. Look at it from financial management point of view, because somebody will come and hold my throat that you only teach in accounts, all advertisements should be written off, and after some hours you change your view because of the difference in subject. So this answer is over. Now I'm going to dictate one of the most important questions from this topic. So write down one more very important question. Please write. Consider the following operating information. Consider the following operating information gathered from three companies. Consider the following operating information gathered from three companies that are identical except for their capital structure. So right hand side three companies, P Limited, Q Limited, R Limited. Then write down total invested capital. Total invested capital 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Total invested capital 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Then write as debt to asset ratio. Debt to asset ratio. Debt to asset ratio is 0.80, 0.50, 0.20. Debt to asset ratio 0.80, 0.50, 0.20. Share outstanding. Share outstanding. $6,100, $8,300, $10,000. Then write before tax cost of debt. Underline the word before tax. Cost of debt 16%, 13%, 15%. Cost of equity 26%, 22%, 20%. Cost of equity 26%, 22%, 20%. Then operating income EBIT in rupees 25,000, 25,000, 25,000. All three companies are same. Net income 8970, 12,350, 14,950. That is your profit after tax. Net income means final profit figure. And then tax rate 35%, 35%, 35%. The question is compute WACC for each firm. Compute WACC for each firm. Point B, compute EVA for each firm. Compute EVA for each firm. Compute EVA for each firm. Point C, based on the results of your computation in part B, based on the results of your computations in part B, comma, which firm would be considered best investment? Which firm would be considered best investment and why? Which firm would be considered best investment? Question mark. Why? Question mark. Point number D, assume the industry P ratio. Assume the industry P ratio generally is 11x. Assume the industry P ratio is generally 11x. Using the industry norm, estimate price for each share. Estimate the price for each share. Calculate the expected market capitalization of each firm. Calculate the expected market capitalization of each firm. One more question, E. Question number E, what factors would cause you to adjust P ratio value? What factors would cause you to adjust P ratio value used in part D so that it is more appropriate? What factors would cause you to adjust P ratio value used in part D so that it is more appropriate? So this is a lengthy problem. First question is WACC, second is EVA, third is which firm will be selected for investment. They are similar firms, capital structure is different. If you see point number 2, debt to asset ratio, P Limited is having more debt, R has least debt. So capital structure wise, P is more leveraged firm, R is least leveraged firm, and because of the difference in their debt equity ratio, even though their operating income is the same, but their profit after tax is different because interest amount will be different, and because of that the final profit after tax is different. Then next question is, assume that the industry P ratio is 11. P ratio is price earning ratio. So since the net income is given, number of shares are given, I can calculate EPS. EPS multiplied by P ratio of 11 times will get market price. Market price into number of share will give you market capitalization. So that's very easy. And the last question is, what factors would you consider? What factor would cause you to adjust P ratio value based in part D, and so that it is more appropriate? So that's a theory question. You are using same P ratio for all the three companies. Is it an appropriate approach? If not, then why would you take different P ratio for different companies? So that small note on use of same P ratio for different companies which have different capital structure is not appropriate. That note you have to write. That will come later. So the new question they have added here is the last two questions, D and E. So they have merged the chapter of valuation using P multiple with the economic value added chapter. First question was, calculate WACC of each firm. So that is really easy. Start. Calculation of WACC of each firm. Right hand side 3 columns. First point A, weight of debt. Weight of debt WD 0.8, 0.5, 0.2. Weight of debt in bracket WD. Then write weight of equity. Weight of equity in bracket WE. So that will be balancing figure. If the weight of debt is 0.8, 0.5, 0.2, out of the 100 rupees asset, 80% is debt. So 20% will be equity, 0.2, 0.5, 0.8. Debt to asset ratio is given. Now write down post-tax cost of debt. Post-tax cost of debt. You are given pre-tax cost of debt. Post-tax cost of debt, write down KD is equal to I into 1 minus T. I into 1 minus T. Take the interest rate given in the question and multiply by what is the tax rate, 35%. So you directly multiply by 65%. You will get 10.4%. Q Limited, take the pre-tax debt interest rate into 65%, 8.45. Similarly, R Limited, interest rate into 0.65, 9.75%. Good news, cost of equity is given. Copy 26%, 22%, 20%. Cost of equity is given. Now you will write WACC. WACC equal to WD into KD plus WE into KE. WD into KD plus WE into KE. So take your calculator and do it. 0.8 into 10.4 plus 0.2 into 26. This way you have to do. So you will get 13.52%, 15.23%, and the last one check 17.95%. Presentation can be changed, but the answer must be the same. So this is your first answer, 2 marks for this much effort. Second question is very easy. It asks you to calculate EVA. Invested capital is given to you. WACC we have computed. Okay. EBIT is given to you. From EBIT, I will directly get NOPAT by deducting taxation. So write down 3 columns on the right side. Heading is calculation of EVA. P Limited, Q Limited, R Limited. Point number A, NOPAT. NOPAT in bracket EBIT 1 minus 0.35. Take the NOPAT, take the EBIT, which is 25,000, into 0.65, 16,250. It will be same for all the 3 companies because their EBITs are same, tax rate is same. Point B, invested capital, same for all the 3 firms. All the 3 firms are similar. Internally, their debt equity ratio is different. Total amount of capital invested is 1 lakh. WACC, step number 1. WACC, step number 1. 13.52%, 15.23%, 17.95%. Point number D, capital charge. B into C write down. Capital charge B into C. Multiply without calculator. I will tell you 13520, 15230, 17950, and then last point E, EVA, A minus D. A minus D, first line, fourth line. Take the difference. The answer is 2730, 1020, negative 1700, negative 1700. Now which company you will invest in? So the answer is the company which will have higher EVA. In that company we are going to invest. So write down the note. If the EVA is the deciding criteria, then the answer will be company with higher EVA. P Limited. P Limited is the best investment as it has the highest EVA. As it has the highest EVA. Next is the reason for higher EVA is. The reason for higher EVA is why it has got higher EVA than other firms when they have invested same capital, when they have same EBIT, is because of the high debt equity ratio, and because of the high debt equity ratio the overall cost of capital goes down, because debt is much cheaper than equity. So average cost of capital, can you see here on point number C, is very low compared to the other two firms, and that makes your capital charge lower, and if capital charge is lower your answer is bound to be higher, final answer will bound to be higher. So write down the reason also. The reason for higher EVA is the high debt equity ratio of P Limited, which has resulted in lower WACC, If only up to EVA they ask you for 4 or 5 marks, then your answer will end here. But there are some extra questions they have added where they want you to compute the price, the market capitalization, and then comment on the use of P ratio. So write down step 3. Step 3 will be calculation of price of each firm and market capitalization. Under that write down 3 columns P, Q, R. First point A, net income 8970, it's given in the problem. If you see the problem last few lines, it is there, copy from there, 8970, 12350, 14950. Number of shares, this is also given in the question. Search for number of shares. If P ratio is given, the formula to get the price is EPS into P ratio. So we need to reach EPS, number of shares. Therefore EPS A by B on your calculator, 8970 divided by 6100, 1.47. 12350 divided by 8300, 1.49. 14950 divided by 10,000, 1.50 approximately. P ratio given in the question, second question, 11x is written, so that is 11 for all the 3 firms. Price write down C into D, multiply 16.17, then 16.39, 16.50, 16.50. This is price per share. And now we'll write market capitalization, B into E. So take the number of share from point number B multiplied by price from point number E, that will give you market capitalization. So that comes to 98637. Check the next one, 136037, 136037 and 1,65,000 and 1,65,000. Should we use the same P ratio for all the 3 firms? Is it appropriate to use the same P ratio for all the 3 firms? So the answer is no, because P is riskier. It has a higher debt equity ratio. So it will have a lower P ratio, whereas R Limited is least risky. So it should have been assigned a higher P ratio. Investor will favor R Limited from risk point of view because its debt equity ratio is very low compared to P. So therefore using same P ratio for company with different degree of financial risk is not appropriate. One should adjust P ratio according to the risk involved also. So the one note I have to write for the fifth question. Please write note. Conceptually, it is incorrect to use same P ratio for valuing firms. It is incorrect to use same P ratio for valuing firms with different levels of risk. With different levels of risk. One can adjust P ratio. One can adjust P ratio to recognize different levels of financial risk. One can adjust P ratio to recognize different levels of financial risk. This answer is over. Okay, now write down one more question. Write down one more question which was asked in one of the recent ICI publications. Question write down: compute economic value added of Good Luck Limited from the following information. Compute EVA of Good Luck Limited from the following information. You are given profit and loss statement, rupees in lakhs. Then start writing little fast. A, income. Under income they have given revenue from operations. Revenue from operations 2000. B, expenses. Direct expenses 800. Indirect expenses 400. Point C, profit before interest and tax. Profit before interest and tax, you can write PBIT. A minus B 800. Then point number D, interest. Point number D, interest 30. Point number D, interest 30. Point number E, PBT. C minus D. 770. Point number F, tax at the rate of 30%. So underline tax rate also, you got tax rate here 30%. 231. Profit after tax 539. Profit after tax 539. Then write balance sheet. Balance sheet, right hand side rupees in lakhs. Balance sheet rupees in lakhs. Equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities. Under that, shareholders funds. Shareholders funds. Equity share capital 1000. Reserve and surplus 600. Reserve and surplus 600. Point number B, non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities, long-term borrowing. Long-term borrowing 200. C, current liabilities 800. Current liabilities 800. Total 2600. Total 2600. Then write down assets. Under assets write down A, non-current assets. Non-current assets 2000. non-current asset 2000, current asset 600, total 2600, other information, cost of funds, cost of debts, cost of debt is 15%, cost of debt is 15%, cost of equity, that is shareholders expected return is 12%, shareholders expected return is 12%. 3. Tax rate is 30%, tax rate is 30%. 4. Bad debt provision of rupees 40 lakh is included in indirect expenses, and rupees 40 lakhs reduced from receivables in current asset, and rupees 40 lakh reduced from receivable in current assets. So that is a new adjustment. Bad debt provision of 40 lakh is included in indirect expenses. So I will go here and tick mark indirect expenses. So what I'll do, if I exclude that bad debt provision, it is just a provision made by the company, not a real cost. So therefore, if I adjust it, it will become 360. So my PBIT will go up by 40. So PBIT will become 840 now. So for NOPAT calculation, I'll make an adjustment of provision and I'll take 840 instead of 800. And similarly, in the balance sheet, this current asset, which is 600, is after deducting provision, should become 640, and therefore my capital employed will increase by 40. My capital employed will increase by 40. So I just have to make two adjustments here. PBIT increase by 40, capital employed increase by 40, and then the problem is very, very easy, right? So let us just quickly go through the question. You are given a P&L account, then you are given a balance sheet, cost of debt is given, cost of equity is given, but this question is not clear whether this cost of debt 15% is a before tax or after tax. So we will assume it is a before tax cost of debt. So I need to deduct 30% tax, that will give me 10.5%. Cost of equity, same figure will take. So this will help us to calculate the WACC, and then we'll calculate NOPAT, we'll calculate EVA. So a very easy question drafted in a different format where the full balance sheet and the full P&L account was supplied to you. So first we will write step number 1, adjusted NOPAT. The profit figure we are adjusting for some provision made by the company. So for accounting purpose it's okay, but for EVA purpose we need to make adjustments of the provisions made. Serial number, particulars, rupees in lakhs, was it lakh or crore? Yes, lakhs. So first point A, write down PBIT given. PBIT given is 800. One adjustment is required for provision for bad debt. So I will write add back provision for bad debt 40. Provision for bad debt 40. Adjusted PBIT. Adjusted PBIT A plus B 840. 840 and point D less tax. Now directly deduct tax from PBIT. 30% is 252, and therefore NOPAT C minus D 588. 588 is the answer, right? 588 seems to be right. Now write down cost of debt after tax. Cost of debt after tax I into 1 minus T. 15 into 1 minus 0.30. 10.5%. Formula, calculation and answer. 10.5%. Step 3, cost of equity given 12%. Cost of equity given 12%. Then write down WACC. Source, amount, weight, cost. Weight into cost. Source, write down equity. Equity is 1600. From the balance sheet, equity is 1600. Long term borrowing is 200. Long term borrowing is 200. This is based on your actual fundraising exercise. You have raised 1600 and 200. Then weights, write down 16 by 18. 16 by 18. 2 by 18. Cost 12% given. 10.5% we have calculated. So weight into cost. Weight into cost 10.67%. 10.67%. Check the calculation. 1.17% and 11.84% approx. 11.84% approx. Now write down step number 5. Operating capital employed. Operating capital employed. Operating capital employed, right hand side rupees in lakh. Point number A. Total capital employed as per step 4 was 1800. Total capital employed is 1800. But then if I add back provision for bad debt, that is 40. So point number C will be operating capital employed A plus B that is 1840. So while calculating EVA, we'll use this figure 1840. Now step number 5 we have done. 6, EVA, right hand side rupees in lakhs. Point number A, NOPAT step 1, NOPAT step 1, 588. Please go and check 588. Point B, operating capital employed 1840. WACC step 4, 11.84%. 11.84%. C, capital charge. Capital charge multiply B into C. 1840 into 11.84%. 1840 into 11.84%, 217.856. Therefore EVA A minus D. EVA A minus D 370.144 lakhs. Right? So this answer is over.